If you're not using ManyChat in 2025 to help grow your business, generate more leads and sales, you need to be. In this video, I'm going to go over the 3 most important things you need to be doing to make sure that you are executing well and actually getting people to comment on your videos for your comment CTAs. And I'm going to include 2 bonuses at the end, so be sure to stick around. So the first thing is the actual video itself. I have found that there are different types of videos that you can create on social media. And there are really 2 that really hit it off. The easiest one to create is like this B-roll, I call it BTT content, or it's B-roll, text on screen, trending sound. And having a comment CTA either on the video as text, you can verbally say one if you're doing a voiceover, or what I like to do is have one in the description, either being the first line or the last line of your comment CTA. Now, with the videos, you want to make sure on the B-roll ones, you want to make sure they're typically anywhere from as low as now 2 to 3 seconds all the way up to no really longer than 10 seconds. But you want to make sure the amount of text on screen that you're posting takes at least as long to read as the length of the video. What does this actually mean? The average person reads about 5 words per second. So if you have a 5-second long video, you want to have 25 to 30 words on the screen so that you are getting that 110% watch time. Remember, these shorter videos, they are highly competitive. So in order for you to get views on that said video, you need to be competitive. The other thing is the actual B-roll itself. Now, for example, if you make cabinets or something physical, you work in e-commerce, you doing things with the actual product, B-roll of that or making the product is going to be huge. For service-based businesses, incorporate aspects of your life, your personal branding. Do you like to ride horses? Do you like to run? Do you like to work out? How can you include those little things into your content that make people relate to who you are? The other thing is, again, anything beyond you just sitting at a computer and working is going to be much, much better. It can be you cooking, cleaning, again. And if you can include those personal elements into it, it's going to perform even better. The other thing is, remember that people need a pattern interrupt when they're scrolling on social media for your video to do well. So anything that looks different, anything that you can take advantage of as far as coloring, what you're doing, actions, all of that will help with the performance of your video. The other thing that you want to remember, and this is highly debated. I do it not to be annoying, but I do it for 2 reasons. Is with the description of your video. The number one thing you can do to increase the performance or increase the odds of your video going viral is having a longer description that actually provides value. You don't want to just have a long one just because, but if you can actually provide value there, it is absolutely huge and push your video out because people will read it while your video plays over and over again. It is a form of engagement. People spend more time on your post. It will push it more in the algorithm. The other thing that is really important about these is making sure you include keywords, not stuffing, but including keywords in those descriptions because it is a feature or AKA data that these algorithms use to actually put your content out there. They work kind of like hashtags used to work where these algorithms can actually categorize what you're saying in your description and say, hey, this person is talking about gyms. I'm going to show this to people who like to go to gyms or who own gyms, right? So using keywords in your description makes a huge difference, especially for you service-based providers out there that are working in the online space. So coaches, agencies, all of those people, that's how you really get in front of your core audience that you want to work with. Beyond just using those keywords and descriptions in your video. Now, the other thing I want to hit on is the comment CTA. What do you actually want to do? So we made your video. And again, I highly recommend making your videos. Oh, and this is one other thing I can hit on. You can also do a talking head video. If you can do a talking head video with a CTA, those can really, 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 really explode from the engagement. So talking head one videos are, in my opinion, superior, but they're a little bit harder to execute. So if you're trying to get this going for the first time, do the B-roll with the text on screen, the trending sound, those usually work better. The talking head videos, you want to really follow our converts framework. You can go over to Kendra.Laney on YouTube and Instagram and look at all of her content about creating content using her 3T system, or especially, like I said, the converts framework to make these videos. The next thing is where you want to place your comment CTA. So there's three main places you can put a comment CTA. So one is on the video as a title. One is a verbal CTA, which is more applicable if you're doing a talking head video, less applicable if you're using a trending audio with B-roll and text on screen. And the third is in the comments. I already mentioned if you're going to put it in or not in the comments, but in the description. And if you're going to do it there, I really recommend putting it at the top or at the bottom. Usually, if you're going to do one with titles or a verbal one, I would do those at the end of your video after you've provided the value. And the last place, little bonus here, not one of the two bonuses we're going over at the end of the video, but a little one is you can actually do a pinned comment. And you can do a couple of pinned comments on these different videos. And just in general with your post, you can do a pinned comment to increase engagement and foster community on your content. And in the terms of these, you can actually do one to get people to comment your C word as well, in case they're not looking at the description, but they're scrolling through the comments. The next thing that we want to hit on is the lead magnet, or what this is pushing to. So if you're using a lead magnet, you want to make sure the video, the comment, and the lead magnet are all vertically aligned. What do I mean by that? You need to make sure that if you're talking about, for example, sales and how to become better at sales in your video, you need to use a word that is related for the comment CTA. So a great example, if you're talking about how to be better at sales, is to comment sales. Or you could specifically use comments if you're talking about like objections or closing or smoke screens or any of these other aspects that are involved in sales. You can create a CTA that is related to those. So closing or objections, right? You just want to make sure it's related to the actual video and or the desired outcome of whoever's watching that video. So if you're using a sales CTA, you want to make sure that your freebie is also related. You don't want to give them a freebie on how to generate leads if you're talking about how to generate sales, or how, well, sales and leads could go hand in hand. But if you're talking about closing, you don't want to be like, hey, there's 3 tips of how to like do cold outbound to get leads in the door, or how to post on Pinterest to generate recurring traffic to your website, right? Those things don't make sense. Or worse, and I've seen this before, where people have something completely unrelated. It's not even close. It's like, this is how to garden, right? So you want to make sure those 3 are completely related. Otherwise, this is going to kill your conversion rate. So if you clicked on the thumbnail, you obviously saw ManyChat. I highly recommend using ManyChat to automate this process above all other platforms, because they give you the click-through rate really nice and easy to see. It's easy to duplicate, so on and so forth. But the really big thing you want to be watching for here when you are getting comments is you want to be watching for what that click rate is. Average is 40%, really good is 60%. If it's 80%, I would promote the heck out of that and reuse the CTA, the lead magnet of the video, a ton. If it's below 40%, I would play around with different words to get it above. If you're not gaining it above 40% still, it is probably because you have a messaging error, or what you're talking about, there's just not enough demand for within your audience. Now, with that being said, we're going to move into bonus territory. We're going to talk about, first of all, the messaging with your ManyChat automation. So you want to make sure that your messaging is clear, it's concise, you're not dragging people through the ringer. If you're really optimizing for conversions, now it kind of depends, because now with ManyChat, there's a lot more automations based off of the comment CTAs. They realized what the majority of people were using this for. And if you get permission, if you ask them, hey, do you mind if I send you a quick message about this? And they hit that, it's considered an opt-in. And from a marketing standpoint, you can it's also considered a trigger within ManyChat, so you can send them follow-up messages in the future about different things and have it automated. So you can do that, but if you're optimizing for conversions, I generally recommend not doing that. I recommend just having a link. Sometimes the button on the bottom of the message can throw people off. So again, just putting that hyperlink literally just in the text. The other thing is you want to reassure them that they're in the right place. So going back to our sales example, it's like, hey, I'm so excited that you are looking to increase your sales closing rate, for example. Here is my guide on how to get your closing rate above 40%, or get your sales team closing above 40%, whatever it is, down below. Just click on the link. And when they click on the link, you want it to take them there. So again, just having that messaging on that message be super clear can make a huge difference. Sometimes people just send messages with no context. Sometimes they try and do like name, email, phone number collection with ManyChat before they send them the link. All of these different things, they're really going to kill your conversion. So you want to make it simple. The second bonus here is your landing page copy and what that looks like. So let's say you're using like Flowdesk or MailChimp or one of these email providers. They usually have really good opt-in forms that you can use to get people into your lead magnet, right? So the number one thing you want to do here is make sure the copy is aligned. They can't click anywhere else, and that it is super clear. You want to look for a minimum 20% opt-in rate. Ideally, you're getting somewhere between 40 and 60 here. So ideally, again, if you get 100 comments on a video, ideally at least 50% of the people are clicking through, and at least you're getting 25 of those different emails for your freebie. Now, with follow-ups on ManyChat, you could be shooting for quite a bit higher because you can follow up with people in the future. And I'm sure there'll be more integrations coming with ManyChat into Zapier where you can basically say, hey, if they didn't get it, follow up with them, which will be awesome. Can't wait for that. So ManyChat, if you're watching this video, that would be super awesome feature to have currently. The other thing is, and I just want to hit on this again with your comment CTA and how you phrase it. Again, you want it to be a one-liner, but most importantly, we've talked about getting people into a lead magnet from a comment CTA. What if you want to get those same people into a sales conversation? You can't treat it the same way because about 80-90% of people out there that are doing the comments on these different videos, they are expecting a freebie of some sort or a link to buy a product, aka affiliate link. So if you're going to have a sales conversation with them, you need to make sure that the CTA is clear. So comment sales if you want to talk about getting your sales team trained by a professional, for example, right? Because then is indicating that you are not just going to send them a freebie, but that you are going to have a conversation with someone real on the other side of that. And if you want your DM responses really high, having a real person there just makes a huge difference. We found people can smell automation from 10 miles away, and they can just smell the authenticity. So make sure that you are doing that with a real person, whether it's you or someone on your team, and that you're upfront and transparent about it. That's going to make a huge difference. Now, if you got any value from this video whatsoever, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to get custom consulting on how to do this for your own business, feel free to hit that link down below in the description and book a call to talk with my team about how you can move forward with that. And see what I did there? That's exactly what I was talking about in this video with making it clear that you're going towards a gap assessment, a sales call. You're not just expecting free value and then getting blue balled when you get there. So as always, apply as much as you can and have a great day.